Have you ever looked at someone you were once very close to and suddenly realized they no longer behave the way they used to? There was no argument. There was no long message to explain anything. There was no clear sign that something had changed. It was just that one day they became colder, quieter, and more distant, as if the ending of the story had arrived but no one said it out loud. Yesterday they still smiled at you with the same familiar look. Today that smile has turned into a polite expression. Yesterday they texted you nonstop. Today they reply slowly and with no real intention. And you sit there asking yourself, what did I do wrong? Why are they like this? What happened to the person I used to know so well? People rarely change with loud noises. They change through small shifts, like the hoodie you used to love wearing every day, the one that felt comfortable and felt like it belonged to you. Then one morning you put it on again and it feels different. It no longer fits. It is no longer comfortable. You do not even understand why it suddenly feels strange. Or like the phone that used to light up constantly with their messages. Then one day the screen still lights up, but the replies are cold, slow, and lifeless. There are no longer the lines of emotion that once made you feel important. There is only heavy silence between the messages. You search for reasons. You blame yourself. You try to hold on to the old version of them. But you do not understand that when someone starts behaving differently, they are not just changing. They are revealing something. They are showing you a truth they cannot put into words. They speak through distance. They speak through silence. They speak through the coldness they never had before. And if you keep asking why, you will miss the most important thing, which is that behavior always tells the truth more than words do. That is the reason this video exists. This video will help you understand 7 deeper reasons, the reasons people rarely admit, behind why someone begins to behave differently. From the fact that they are hiding something, to the fact that you are no longer important to them, to the influence of a third person, to guilt, to the possibility that they have grown in a different direction, or even that they are fighting an internal battle you know nothing about. Each reason is a message that Stoic philosophy helps you read correctly and understand clearly. Because Stoicism does not teach you to hold on to anyone. It teaches you to observe, to recognize, and to protect your own peace. So when a person changes, what does it really mean? And how should you respond so you do not lose yourself in that change? Stay until the end, because the final reason may change the way you see every relationship and change you as well. Let us begin. First, they are hiding something. Let us talk about one of the clearest signs that something is not right. When someone suddenly changes the way they talk to you, the way they look at you, the way they respond to things they used to care about, it is rarely a random shift. People do not wake up one morning and decide to become more secretive, colder, or more distant without a reason. Change is always a signal of something behind it. And when behavior no longer matches their words, you need to pay attention. Because hiding always begins with very small things. They reply slower than usual. They avoid certain questions. They look away when you mention a specific topic. The words "it is nothing" appear more often. They become awkward in moments where they used to be completely comfortable. The energy between you and them changes, not through words but through the silence. And the scariest part is that they try to make everything look normal, yet that very effort is what exposes them the most. The truth is that when someone is hiding something, they usually cannot stay natural around you. They are afraid you will notice. They are afraid they might slip. They are afraid their eyes will betray them. So they keep their distance, they reduce interaction, they do everything they can to limit the chance that you will ask questions. That is not busyness. That is the fear of being exposed. And if you are observant, you will see that they are avoiding you, avoiding intimacy, avoiding deep conversations, the things they once initiated. Stoic philosophy has a truth as sharp as a blade, which is that human nature is always revealed through behavior, not through words. Heraclitus once said, "Character is destiny." This means that no matter what they try to hide, the nature of their actions will eventually show you the truth. A person carrying a secret cannot behave like someone carefree. A person doing something wrong cannot maintain calmness. You do not need to force them to speak. You only need to observe and you will see. So what should you do when you realize someone is hiding something? Do not rush to confront them. Do not rush to demand answers. People who hide things will always use words to deny. Instead, trust the signals they cannot control. Observe the change, observe the inconsistency, and most importantly, accept that sometimes you do not need to know the entire truth. Their change is already a complete answer. Second, they begin to behave differently because they no longer see you as important as they once did. This is one of the most painful truths because it does not arrive through words but through the way they withdraw little by little. They do not become cold immediately. They just care a little less. They initiate a little less. They show excitement a little less. But those small reductions add up to a big change that you cannot help but notice. You know this is happening when your presence no longer makes them react the way it once did. Messages that used to be answered immediately are now left unread for hours. Stories they used to listen to with full attention now receive only a few forced replies. Moments when they once would have been there for you without hesitation are now met with excuses. They do not say you are no longer important. They simply behave that way. The truth is, people always prioritize what they consider valuable. No one is too busy to forget someone they truly cherish. No one forgets to respond to someone they genuinely want to stay connected with. No one changes toward a person they see as important in their life. When someone changes the way they treat you, it is almost always a sign that your place in their life has shifted, and it rarely shifts in a better direction. Stoic philosophy reminds us that the value of a relationship lies in actions, not in pleasant words. Seneca once said that you should stay close to those who make you better, not those who only remember you when they need something. Someone who values you only because you benefit them has never truly valued you. So what should you do when you realize they no longer see you the way they once did? Do not try to hold on to a place they have silently walked away from. Do not lower yourself to regain importance in the eyes of someone who no longer wishes to see you the way they used to. And most importantly, give your energy to the people who understand its value. Third, they begin to behave differently because they are being influenced by someone else. This is one of the reasons that hurts people the most because it does not come from you. It does not come from the relationship between the two of you, but from a quiet force outside. People change the fastest when they want to please someone new or when they start seeing the world through someone else's lens. Even a whisper can shift an entire relationship. You will notice this when they suddenly have viewpoints they never had before, when they mention someone new with a brighter look in their eyes, when they start avoiding deep conversations that used to be familiar between the two of you, when they behave not according to their personality, but according to the style of the person they are trying to fit in with. And little by little, the distance between you and them grows, not because you change, but because someone else is shaping them. The truth is that the person they spend time with is the person who gains influence over them. Someone with a strong foundation will not be easily pulled away, but someone who lacks firmness will quickly change their attitude, their thoughts, and the way they treat you simply because they are trying to embrace a new relationship, a new circle, or a new influence they want to be accepted by. They gradually become a version of that person and are no longer who they used to be in your eyes. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we become what we are frequently exposed to. Aristotle said that character is built from habits. This means that if they repeat someone else's thoughts, words, and behaviors long enough, they will unconsciously become similar to that person. This change is not an accident. It is a sign that they are directing their loyalty somewhere else. So what should you do? Do not try to compete with that influence. Do not try to prove your worth. If they are easily pulled away, they will also be easy to lose. Someone who truly belongs in your life will not change just because a new person appears. And if they change because of someone else, let them go because you deserve people with stronger foundations than that. Fourth, they begin to behave differently because they are feeling guilty about something. This is one of the easiest types of changes to recognize if you know how to observe, because guilt rarely stays natural. A person can hide their words and hide their actions, but they cannot hide the irregularity in their energy. When someone has already done something wrong to you, even before you know about it, they have already shown clear signals. You will see this through their awkwardness when they speak, averted eyes, a forced smile, a short response to things they used to talk about at length. They begin to respond slowly, avoid certain topics, or keep a distance they never kept before. This change is not random. It is the tension between what they have done and the good person image they want to preserve in front of you. Guilt often reveals itself in two ways. One, they suddenly become overly kind. They care too much. They try to make up for something but cannot bring themselves to say why. Two, they suddenly turn cold, quiet, or even disappear because your presence makes them feel exposed. They avoid you not because they dislike you. They avoid you because you are a living reminder of what they have done wrong. Stoic philosophy has a sharp truth, which is that a guilty person will run even when no one is chasing them. Seneca said that conscience can become the most ruthless tormentor. A person who feels guilty does not need to be questioned. They are already punishing themselves through the change in their attitude and the distance they create. So what should you do? Do not interrogate them. A guilty person often lies to protect themselves, not to save the relationship. Do not try to make everything go back to normal. If they truly want to make things right, they will speak. And if they choose silence and distance, that is the answer. Guilt is their burden, not yours. Fifth, they begin to behave differently because they have outgrown the relationship, or in other words, they have reached a stage where you no longer belong in their current journey. This is the hardest truth to accept because it does not come from betrayal, it does not come from lies, and it does not come from doing something wrong. It comes from something natural yet painful, which is that they have grown in a direction where you no longer fit. There is no argument, no apology, no official ending. Only a growing distance over time. You will notice this when things between the two of you no longer click the way they once did. Conversations that used to be easy now feel awkward. Plans that once excited both of you now become maybe another time. Interests that used to align are no longer the same. They are not cold in an angry way. They are cold in a way that shows you are no longer in their area of interest. And the most painful part is that they are not sad, not upset, not confused. They are simply distant. The truth is that sometimes people change not because you did anything wrong, but because they are moving in a different direction. They grow. They expand their world. They seek new things, new people, and new goals. And you, even if once very important, are no longer within that orbit. This is not betrayal. This is the natural progression of life. Some people stay with us for a lifetime. Some people only walk with us for a part of the journey, but that part, whether long or short, still has its own value. Stoic philosophy says that change is nature's delight. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that nothing stands still. Everything moves according to its own order, and we suffer not because of change, but because we resist it. We cling to the old version of someone who no longer exists. So what should you do when someone has outgrown the relationship with you? The first thing is, do not blame yourself. You are not at fault because they grew in a different direction. The second is, do not try to pull them back. The more you hold on, the more you hurt. And the last one is, be grateful, because every relationship, no matter how it ends, teaches you something about yourself. Their departure does not reduce your value. It only marks that it is time for you to step into a new stage, one with people who are more aligned, more mature, and more compatible. Let them go. No resentment, no holding on, because sometimes the greatest freedom lies in accepting that not everyone who starts with you is meant to walk with you until the end. Sixth, they begin to behave differently because they are resenting you, but they do not say it. This is one of the hardest changes to recognize because it does not come from accusations, it does not come from an argument, and it does not come from clear conflict. It shows up through small behaviors filled with heavy energy. They do not say they are sad. They do not say they are disappointed. They do not say you did anything wrong. But you clearly feel the distance, the coldness, the short replies, the indifference in their eyes, the conversations that become shallow, and the long silence as if every message you send is something they reluctantly have to deal with. Repressed resentment rarely explodes into a big confrontation. It leaks out slowly through attitude, a bit of sarcasm in the way they respond, a forced smile instead of a genuine one, a scene with no reply, a message telling you to wait, followed by no response at all. They are still physically present, but they are no longer truly with you. You feel like you are trying to talk to a closed door, and no matter how many times you knock, it never opens. And the sad part is that you have no idea what you did. The truth is that some people carry resentment inside but do not have the capacity to face it. They avoid conflict because they fear their emotions will be exposed. They do not want to admit that they were hurt by you. They worry that if they speak up, they will lose their calm image in front of you. So they keep everything inside. But emotions never stay still. They find their way out through behavior, and coldness is how they speak. Stoic philosophy has a very clear truth, which is that silence sometimes speaks louder than words. Epictetus reminded us that people should speak only when necessary and observe the rest, because changes in energy are often more truthful than any explanation. Someone who resents you but does not dare to say it will never treat you the same as before. Energy does not know how to lie. So what should you do when you realize someone is carrying resentment toward you but refuses to speak? Do not force them to open up. A person who does not want dialogue will only shut tighter if you push. Do not try to explain when they do not want to understand. Do not reshape yourself based on emotions they have never admitted. Give them a chance to speak, gently and without pressure. If they choose silence, respect that silence and step back to protect your own peace. You cannot heal something they refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot keep chasing emotions they are hiding inside. Sometimes the distance they create is the answer. Let us move to the final point. Seventh, they begin to behave differently because they are fighting with themselves, and it has nothing to do with you. This is the reason most people overlook, because when someone becomes distant, quiet, or cold, our natural instinct is to assume we did something wrong. But sometimes their change does not reflect your value to them. It reflects the storm inside them that they do not know how to share. You will notice this when their change does not carry hostility, does not carry deliberate indifference, and does not carry the energy of deceit. It carries the scent of exhaustion. A kind of exhaustion that words cannot explain. They reply less not because they want to avoid you, but because they do not have the energy to maintain any conversation at all. They cancel plans not because you are unimportant, but because they are struggling to keep themselves standing. They stay silent not because they want to punish you, but because they do not know how to speak when they have too much chaos inside. Inner pain does not make noise, but it creates distance. A person who is hurting will withdraw. A person who is anxious will avoid contact. A person who is under pressure will unintentionally push away the people they love. And paradoxically, they become silent with the very people they trust the most because they fear being a burden. They fear disappointing others. They fear becoming too heavy to carry. They disappear a little, not because they do not need you, but because they do not know how to need you without losing their sense of dignity. Stoic philosophy says that everyone you meet is fighting a battle you cannot see. The Stoics remind us not to rush to blame, not to rush to take things personally, and not to rush to assume. When someone changes, it does not always speak about you. Sometimes it speaks about what they are trying to survive. Distance does not always mean coldness. It can mean they are sinking and trying to breathe. So what should you do when you suspect their change comes from inner pain? First, do not take it as an offense. Do not see it as disrespect. Do not turn their pain into your battle. Gently open a door, but do not force them to walk through it. Leave a simple message like, "If you need to talk, I am here." Then give them the space to find themselves again. And most importantly, do not measure your worth through someone else's silence. There are battles you cannot see, and there are changes that are not abandonment, but signs they are trying not to collapse. When someone begins to behave differently, it is rarely random. People do not change the way they speak, the way they look at you, or the way they care without a reason. Every distance carries a message. Every silence contains an answer, and every change is a sign of something they cannot say or do not know how to say. But the most important thing you must understand is that their change does not always speak about you. Sometimes it speaks about them. Sometimes it speaks about what they have done. Sometimes it speaks about who they are becoming. And sometimes it speaks about the battle they are trying to hide from the world. Stoic philosophy teaches that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control how we receive it. Do not chase explanations when behavior is already the answer. Do not hold on to a version of them that no longer exists. Do not bend yourself trying to save a connection they let go of long ago. Do not let someone else's change make you doubt your own value. When a person truly wants to stay, you will not need to explain. You will not need to hold on, and you will not need to prove anything. Choose clarity instead of illusion. Choose peace instead of searching for answers from those who do not want to speak. Choose to walk away when your heart knows that staying will only hurt you more. And choose to believe that every departure, every change, and every silence is life guiding you in the right direction, leading you toward people who are more aligned, more honest, and more healthy for you. If this video helps you understand the changes in relationships more clearly, leave a simple but powerful comment. I choose clarity. It is not only a message for the video, but a promise to yourself that from today, you will choose clarity instead of chasing what is unclear. Press like so this video reaches those who need it. And do not forget to subscribe so you can continue to follow the Stoic lessons that help you become stronger, calmer, and freer from what lies outside your control.